You cannot not sing this morning. You should have seen Drew during our newscast.
That's a brand new song.
This music, yeah, and it took you back to the 80s.
It does have like that Depeche Mode kind of sound to it, maybe something from the 1980s. The memories are coming back, Rod Hill. The song has nothing to do with our topic of conversation today, but it is a brand new Sunrise Extra tune. We're bringing you Sunrise Extra on this Thursday. Rod is the man in the middle this morning, Brenda, because really the weather will be our focus here.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about, obviously, the wildfires continues to be our big top story, but we've been waiting for the weather to help out. And finally, Rod, it seems like after days of talking about it and forecasting it, we are going to get some of that weather here in the next 24 hours.
So, you know, we've had this low sitting out to sea, and we thought it might bring us a shower or so during the week. We had that dribble over Clackamas Town Center when Drew was out there live for us a couple mornings ago. But tonight, finally, we get the action as the low starts to move inland. Now, unfortunately, it could come with some issues, but the overwhelming positive here is a good chance of heavy rain over the fire zones tonight. So here's what the Weather Service has issued in green. This is a flash flood watch. This is basically on the west slope of the Cascades, i.e. the fire zones of the Lion's Head, the Beachy Creek, the Holiday Farm, the Riverside Fire, Estacada, Sandy, and more cities, Lebanon, in this fire zone, not fire zone, but flash flood watch area. And again, this starts this evening, it goes through tonight, may be extended into tomorrow. Here's the first round of what could be not only heavy downpours, but thunderstorms. 9 p.m. tonight on Futurecast. The bright colors, the heavy rain. Notice everything is going to move south to north across our area. Anybody in the valley could get into some of this heavy rain action, but they're having a tendency to kind of guide themselves, the storms, along that west slope of the Cascades. Now, that in itself is more good news than not, because that's where the fires are burning. The rain amounts, we're going to be very unstable tonight. And we talked earlier this week that all the particulates being put into the air from the smoke and the fires actually helps increase instability. Forecast models are going nuts with over an inch of rain tonight into Saturday morning, all total over Eugene and Salem and Portland 77 100ths of an inch. I would say confidence is pretty high that there will in fact be 15 20-minute downpours tonight, produce a half of an inch of rain or maybe even an inch in some areas. Now, here's the great news part of the story. We're on the backside of what's been just that consistent, widespread, cohesive smoke cloudiness, right, at 8 o'clock this morning. With the rains coming in tonight, we will, for the first time, start to break up that big smoke cloud that's just been a blanket over us. Here's improving weather tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then into the weekend, we say goodbye finally, and I think forever, for the most part, to any widespread cohesive smoke cloud up top. This shows the west side of our state by Sunday getting into practically no smoke and just some sunny skies. Still some smoke though, where you see the yellow and those other kind of orange colors across our state, but again, not the just blanket of heavy thick smoke that we have been seeing.
Choking
so really,
smoke.
Yeah. Today, if all this comes true, today will in fact be the finale, the final day of a widespread air quality warning for our area. And by the weekend, people could be going out, going, it smells great. Did you shower today? Yeah, take a shower. Don't ruin the good air quality for the rest of us.
Okay, as you continue just blabbering on there, we want to show you this live picture from our photographer, Chad Dehart. He's down there along the waterfront, and that smoky haze, we were talking about just how oppressive it was, and it feels like COVID was one thing, but you could still go out. Now you don't even want to go out. No, it's not safe. You don't feel like it. You can't breathe right.
You go back to late March, early April, when we really were asking people to stay indoors and keep from going outside at the height of COVID, at least at the beginning of it there. People still went out. Now, forget about it. They don't even want to go out.
Look at that. It is just gross. I want to say good morning to some of our loyal streamers.
Sure.
Levada, hey, she says hello from Portland. Corey says, let's see if this really happens. Oh, come on, I'm 100% Team Rod.
I doubt her.
Jonna Horn says, doing the rain dance. And Rose Portugal says, the rain is coming slowly. Bring all the rain, all caps. I love that. We do need it. And Michelle Rolfe says, finally some relief. That's exactly how I feel too.
I saw that comment, or that series of comments from Rose, Portugal, and Rose again says, I see the rain coming slowly. Now, I'm not sure, Rose, if that's some sort of weather prediction, if you're trying to do your own Rod Hill impersonation there, or if she actually can see out over the Pacific and she actually sees the rain coming slowly or not. But Rod, do we want to talk at all about how you see this event developing, quick, slow, and when again?
Well, again, mid-evening tonight, Futurecast models start to pick up rain, maybe thunderstorm action down around Salem as early as 8 o'clock this evening and then moving up to the north. So once it starts this evening, it will get pretty active. And I see a lot of fun comments. I mean, people relieved. Yeah. We're going to get the rain. The smoke is going to get better. That's great news. But remember, especially if you have friends, let them know. Make sure they're watching this part of the story. That flash flood watch issued basically over the fire zones of the west slope of the Cascades. Weather Service warning for potential rapid runoff from heavy downpours. It could include boulders being moved, debris flow, road closures, and of course that can be life-threatening, that type of action as well. So all hands will be on deck. Now, I think I'm correct when I say, for the most part, we don't have anybody left in those immediate fire zones. Everybody's pretty much gotten out. But if you do know of somebody that's staying in their homes in those areas, again, pick up your phone, give them a call. Make sure they're watching this, because there could be some flooding issues overnight tonight into tomorrow morning in those areas. Well,
you're right, Rod. To take a serious tone on this, Leah Van Worden is also doing that for us this morning, reminding us that in Central Oregon, the Lion's Head fire is still going on right now. So too is the Beachy Creek. It was great to report this morning that fire is now 20% contained, but that's the largest wildfire we have in the state, the Beachy Creek fire. So even at 20% contained, it is still a massive effort right now for firefighters. Of course, the Riverside fire, we also mentioned this morning, it's now 3% contained. First time we were able to report on any sort of containment level for the Riverside fire there near Estacada. And again, it's great that it's contained, but it is still only 3%. And even those residents in Malala, Estacada, those areas that can now go back to their homes because they're out of that level 3. Some of those areas dropped from a level 3 to a level 2. They know, and they're also being reminded that you still may have to leave at a moment's notice if things change with the fires.
So I'm looking at Dawn Kimlinger on our stream this morning. She says, I am tired of sleeping on a lumpy couch, which is more comfortable than the floor. Bring it on, meaning the rain. I need my bed. Dawn, if you can you just hop back on there and tell us, like, where are you? What exactly is that situation? So it must be an evacuee rather, but whose bed are you sleeping on, or whose couch are you sleeping on? I'm glad you at least have that.
Right. Jonna Horn mentioning that our firefighters need the rain. Of course they do. And it's just crazy to me, Rod, be honest with you, to think about this idea that, are we talking about having too much rain? Really? After all these days of wanting rain and asking for rain and saying we need the rain, there is this, this slight idea that we could have too much rain in some spots.
Yeah, I think, seldom do you get the perfect equation of what you want and what you need. But we're putting the alarm out tonight for people who live in near those fire zones of the west slope of the Cascades, that there could be some flooding issues with intense downpours, which we think we'll get. But with that said, the overall story here, let's not forget, is positive.
Yeah.
I mean, we need rain. We need downpours. We need it all to get rid of what's the number one issue. And the number one issue right now is these fires that continue to burn. I've seen some comments. One person asked, when does Salem's air quality get better? These comments that I'm making are basically good for all of our region, up and down all of the Willamette Valley, up into southwest Washington. We're all under the gun for intense downpours tonight. This weather system is fairly large, and it will improve the air quality for all of us. So please understand that. And then on the flip side, I saw Heather mention, with our luck, 2020's luck, tonight's rain will probably come with sharks. A lot of people have fun comments about what is next.
Imagine that headline tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Rod, Stanford Walker wants to know, how long are the rains going to last?
So we think the bullseye of the most intense rains and the risk of thunder and lightning with those rains will develop mid-evening tonight, and I would say that main threat wraps up at some point tomorrow morning or by noon. Now, we still get some heavier rains and showers in the afternoon, And then once we get into tomorrow night, the threat of accumulating rainfall quickly ends. There might just be some frivolous light showers around Saturday morning, and then I really think by Saturday afternoon we even cut that off, and we'll be completely dry. There's something else I was going to say, and I can't remember it. I know why I can't remember it. I'm getting old.
No, it'll come back to you. Dawn Kimlinger is responding. You know, I was asking her, like, what's the situation? She lives in Malala. She got downgraded to a level 2 yesterday, but smoke is still too thick. Staying at my daughter's in Beaverton, 4 adults and 2 dogs. I get up at 4:30, they stay up late, and she has to blast music in her headphones to drown them out.
She painted the picture. You wanted the picture painted, and there it is. Thank you, Dawn.
I hope you get back home soon, girl.
Rod, to get back to you lost that thought a moment ago. I was actually reading your mind, and I saw the thought that you could not come up with on TV here. You were wondering, what is Michelle Wolf up to? One of our loyal followers here on the Facebook live stream. It's Michelle Wolf, WULF. Michelle, I'm happy to pass along these sentiments from you. She says, I am so excited to return home to Estacada today. Cannot wait. And that was one of the better stories we reported on this morning on the Sunrise Show, the fact that Estacada, a large part of that city, now out of that level 3. So people can return to their homes. There are parts of Estacada, if you get out beyond like the downtown city limits, that are still close enough to that fire where they still are under a level 3. So I feel like those people who live in those spots know who they are, they know where they live, and they know to continue to be careful of that Riverside fire.
Ginny Carlson also wants to know. Oh, sorry, Rod. I'm just going to ask this one from Ginny for you. Do rain and ash create road hazards?
Well, you know, I've had people ask, is this going to be acid rain? What's going on? The rain, the ash. To be honest, I don't really have an education knowledge base to really speak intelligently about that. I have not read any statements from the Weather Service where there is a heightened concern about that. And I have been watching to see if I can see some statements on that. So in short, let's assume no news from the Weather Service is good news here. Renee was asking, is Bend over in Central Oregon going to get some of this rain? It looks like the main channel of these heavy rains will be on this side of the Cascades. Futurecast models do show going into Friday, though, at least some scattered activity over in Central Oregon as well, which will help their air quality, which has been bad too, guys. Back to you.
Jeff Lucas, I like this one. He says, I dreamed of blue sky last night. Hallelujah.
Love Jeff Lucas, one of the original Sunrise Extra viewers from when we started this all last year. Stanford Walker, you mentioned him already this morning. Another one of our original. Stanford asking, where is Nina today? Nina getting ready to celebrate a birthday. So she had it off today, tomorrow, and I believe Monday as well.
Yep,
so
her birthday's actually Monday. So
she will return. Stanford Walker, do not worry. Mary Lou Burke chiming in this morning saying she's watching from Kelso. Good morning, Cowlitz County. And then I wanted to read one more real quick here. Brittany saying, yes, I want to open up my windows again and I want to breathe. And really that brings up a point, and if you've lost a home, if you've suffered some loss during all these fires, then what I'm about to say may sound a little trivial. But for the rest of us that are just really dealing with the smoke issue, we have missed out on what usually is some of the best weeks of the year, right? Yeah. Mid-September can be beautiful here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. When you actually can open up those windows, you don't have to run the AC, you're not worried about running the heat yet, and you just take in that fresh air. And we have not been able to do that, obviously, here for the last week plus. Brittany is looking forward to doing that this morning. Thanks for watching us, Miss Brittany.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Lane Jensen says, I'm a delivery driver. When will we be able to go back to cloth masks instead of the N95? Well, it sounds like Rod is talking about after tonight and that big rain, that things really are going to get better for you, Lane. Yeah. So look forward to that.
Yeah, we start to see improvement tomorrow, and then certainly into the weekend. I think we're done with the really bad air quality. You're seeing a lot of people post questions about individual fires. Why are you not talking about this? A reminder, KGW.com has made it really easy. If you go to the homepage, you'll see the link right there. Click for wildfire updates, and that will give you the option. Do you want Clackamas County or this fire? And you click on those, and we will have everything. One person did ask about the Bald Peak fire. Is that nearly contained, Brenda and Drew? Do you remember what the containment number is?
The Chehala Mountain Bald Peak fire, that's good. Yeah. It's good to go.
And they also reported that fire started by a campfire.
That wasn't put out right.
Right. which happens. We know that happened. We knew that was the threat all along, right? Labor Day weekend, people doing some camping that weekend, and the warning came out, Sunday into Labor Day Monday that, hey, now is not the time to be out there starting those campfires because the winds are coming and the conditions are so dry. And unfortunately, a lot of those campfires proved to be a big issue throughout the state from Labor Day. I want to read one more comment here, and I may have lost it. Come back comment, because it came to us from Sharon saying, actually watching us this morning from Michigan.
Oh, hey.
Sharon watching from Michigan. She says her son lives and works here in Portland, so she likes to keep track of what's going on here by way of us and the Sunrise Extra program. So good morning, Miss Sharon.
So Rod, people are joining as we're speaking, but Vicky wants to know, is this mix of fog and smoke or just smoke? It seemed very thick this morning here in Salem.
Well,
and round Mount Angel.
Here's the bottom line. Smoke is playing a huge factor in being the main contributor in every bit of obscurity that we have out there. The clouds up top, most of the days this week. Now we're going to start to get into some actual real cloud cover with the system coming in. But for the most part, what we've been seeing, fog, being reduced visibility down low, the overcast up top, it's all been smoke induced. Again, and we've said this on Sunrise throughout the week, smoke's putting all these particulates in the air. Well, if you go back to elementary, junior high school weather class, you learn that you have to have dust particles or some sort of a particulate in the air for water vapor to grab onto and start to form around. That's how you start to get the formation of clouds and precipitation. So if all this abundance of particulates being thrown into the air, that is producing what looks to be fog, but is all of it really smoke caused? Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And some other people joining late mentioning are there concerns about lightning strikes tonight.
Right.
Obviously, lightning is dangerous. Obviously, lightning takes lives every year in our country. But you don't really worry about lightning being a fire threat unless it's dry lightning, which we often get in Central Eastern Oregon with no rain around it. The lightning that we will get tonight will be right in the middle, big, intense downpours.
Okay.
So I think it's correct to say that the lightning is not going to add to any fire danger tonight. It's going to be a show that we need to be indoors of. Stay
I had
safe.
a little smile on my face as I was listening to you because I was reading Joshua Madrid's comment. He said, I'm going to put on my swimsuit, go outside, and make rain angels this evening. Ha. Be well, everyone.
That was
That's a
comment.
visual.
Yeah, that caught my eye, too. I was wondering if, Joshua, if you do that, Joshua, will you send us a picture or video of the experience?
For tomorrow's Sunrise Extra.
Right. We had the viewer from Michigan earlier. How about one from Missouri? Your home state, Rod Hill. Marie watching from Missouri.
Oh, yeah. What do they want to know here?
Well, she says she's praying for family and all here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Amen, Marie says, for the rain that is coming.
Yeah, we need that. I'm seeing also updates on Otis. Again, a reminder, if we're not talking about something you want to know, check out our .com, kgw.com. Our staff has really done a great job, in my opinion, of flooding our online site with daily updates on great information. Lots of people also asking about the air quality. And again, we're all in this pattern of getting the heavy downpours coming tonight. And even if somehow you miss the downpour at your home, the weather pattern itself will be impacting you and thinning out the smoke. And by this weekend, I just don't think we're going to be under any type of air quality warnings at all here on the west side of the Cascades. And that means no matter what your plans are, they would not be impacted by poor air quality. So that's good news.
I don't know if you could back up this statement this morning, Rod, from Marilyn Smith, but Marilyn is saying Bend air, the air in Bend, worse right now than the air in Portland. She asks, will we be getting the rain as well there in Central Oregon?
But again, most of this is going to be on this side of the Cascades, but I think late tonight into Friday morning, there will be at least some shower activity, make it over the mountains into Central Oregon. The smoke forecast that we show you on the air, which has been really good, by the way. It's been Johnny on the spot. I've been using that heavily to forecast daily temperatures, et cetera, et cetera. But it does show this thick smoke over Bend right now that it will be shearing apart, if you will, all across our states. No matter where you live in Oregon and Washington, you have improved air quality coming in the next couple of days, period. And that's a great blanket statement to be able to say, guys.
Scoot says, looking at the air quality index, when can we open the windows again? Asthmatic here. So I know that you really want that to happen, but it sounds, Rod, like after tonight.
Weekend.
this weekend you can open your windows again.
Yeah. I mean, we'll start to see improvement tonight. I mean, obviously I'm not the one that makes up all the air quality warnings. I don't, but I would say clearly by Saturday, once we're behind this entire rain event tonight and tomorrow, clearly by Saturday we should be fine. Not meaning it's not going to be a little hazy. We can still get those orange sunrise sunsets that you get when you have smoke in the sky. But in terms of being probably moderate to better, I would say that's where we're going to be this weekend, moderate to better.
It seems like so much smoke out there. I mean, and one good rain event can really kind of clear the way. It almost feels overwhelming, like that gray white is never going to go away, but I'm so glad that it is.
I went out for the dog walk yesterday, and I told myself just 10 minutes, right? Just 10 minutes to get this guy out and moving before we come back in. And I didn't think it was a problem. I didn't think I'd be bothered. But even that 10 minutes, I came back and had to admit, because my wife and 2 kids were like, "You don't want to walk the dog right now, Dad?" I'm like, "I'll be fine." I came back and was like, I'm not fine. It's terrible out there. It really is. Even 10 minutes, yesterday at least, and I live about 10 miles south of downtown, it was no good at around 5 o'clock yesterday. I wanted to really just share one more comment from Kat Johnson saying, "Hey guys, just want to give you a big shout out, a big thank you for your coverage." She lives in Estacada, she says. She plans on returning home tomorrow. Thank you again. And it really has been great to see several of our Estacada viewers chiming in this morning with the news that they are getting to go back to their homes.
Rod, what were you going to say?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's more than the rain breaking up the smoke. We finally have a weather system coming in. It's going to improve the winds aloft. That's going to be just as big of a factor in dispersing the smoke. You go back to when the smoke started, day after day after day, the peak wind gust in any 24-hour period has been less than 10 miles per hour. We've just been dead calm. There's been nothing to move or thin out anything. And we finally start to see that happen tonight, guys.
So,
Rodney, you're the best.
Yeah.
I always count on him and, all the years that you've spent forecasting and really just geeking out on all these things, to keep us informed. I do appreciate you. I don't think I tell you that enough, but I'm going on record this morning.
Virtual hug.
When I see you next and it's safe, dear, I want a little kiss on the cheek. When it's safe to do that.
Trying to hug you, Rob, but I can't seem to penetrate the walls between us. Hey, kgw.com/wildfires. If you go to our website and check out that microsite, kgw.com/wildfires. Comprehensive section on all the fires that continue to burn throughout the region. Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise Extra. We'll see you for one more show this week tomorrow on Friday.